Yeah, hi. Myself Dinesh Kumar. I'm going to present a small article uh, about the topic next generation SOC, specifically using AI. So, uh, the article topic is an AI powered strategy for cyber resilience. So, first, first we need to solve the problem with traditional approach. So the agenda would be to solve the critical challenge using traditional approach, then the AI-driven solution for the traditional approach, and then proven ROI, that is the value proposition proven, which is proven, and then the recommendations and the next steps for the next generation SOC. So what are the problems where the traditional SOC is facing? Currently, there is unbearable load on the traditional SOC, meaning there will be a alert fatigue and there will be a lot of false positives. I'll cover all those things in this slide. For example, um, it's nearly impossible for a human to triage all the alerts generated by the scene, EDR, firewall, IPS, IDS modules, and so on. And multiple tools are there in the SOC, right? So it's nearly impossible for a human-centric model to outpace or to triage all the alerts directed by these scene engines. So the gap available in the traditional model is there's a threat volume, enormous level of threat volume on the data ingestion, which is now outpace the human capacity. And the next thing is the massive false positive rates, which leads to the analyst burnout or missing high priority alert. Instead of concentrating on the real attacks, people are just triaging the false positive alerts, which doesn't make sense. And the third point would be the slow response. So manual investigation and the correlation of correlation will cause you the critical delays between the direction response and the containment. So there's a thing called dwell time, which is a measure which states that uh, when the attack is detected, how many hours the attacker is being in the system. Uh, so that is the dwell time. With if you're detecting alert at the last phase, or if the dwell time is higher, then there's a high possibility of data exfiltration and lateral movement as well. So we need to detect and remediate the alert at very earlier phase itself. And then so this gap, as a result of alert fatigue, slow response, and overload, this gap exposes the organization to increase financial loss, business disruption, and the regulatory risk as well. The impact points are alert to incident time. So alert to incident time for the traditional SOC is currently hours to days. If we are going from traditional model to AI powered SOC, the target will be around triaging those alerts in minutes. And then the threat visibility. So the traditional SOC will be triaging the known signatures only, and in case of AI based approach, we'll be looking for more behavioral based anomalies, and we'll be looking for 0 day alerts, and we'll be triaging the hunting based alerts and hunting based results as well. So these are the risk impact of the traditional versus the AI powered SOC. And then, so what is the strategy we are building in the AI powered SOC to overcome these challenges? The key message would be AI is a strategic necessity to enhance effectiveness, scalability, and speed. So the shift would be from the reactive approach to an proactive defense. So reactive in the sense, instead of focusing on the alerts, which the tool is detecting it, so the focus or the shift would be to make it as a proactive approach, where you will be proactively detecting or triaging the alerts, or hunting for the red actors, or hunting for alerts uh, in your organization or in your platforms. So for this to be an organized transformation, for this to be an successful transformation, there will be three pillars required for the AI transformation. One will be the AI driven detection and triage, which utilizes machine learning to identify novel threats, and it will also suppress the false positives. For example, if an alert has been directed by your scene, and you are closing this alert as false positive, the scene engine will learn from your behavior, and if at all the scene engine will see similar kind of alerts in the future, it will try to close the alert with the closer code as same false positive for any alerts in the near future. So this will reduce the false positive alerts as well. And the second pillar would be automated enrichment and investigation. This is one of the very key pillar, because this dynamically correlates events across all data sources for near instant context. In the sense, it will enrich multiple fields. Um for example, if you want to enrich an IP, domain, or URL, we can very well do that instead of manually triaging and looking for enrichment. With the help of AI powered engine, we can very well enrich all those fields. I certainly there are a couple of enrichments are available in the traditional SOC as well, but this will be a shift where we will have the enrichment of data in such a manner, such a manner like you won't be able to, you will not do the further triaging of any IOCs. And then the last pillar would be the orchestrated response. It integrates what is the orchestrated response? It integrates with the SOAR to execute a containment at nearly machine speed. For example, if you are seeing a ransomware, if you're detecting a ransomware alert, or if you're seeing a ransomware alert, automatically this orchestration engine or automation and orchestration engine will detect and will act upon those ransomware incident, and will contain that asset at nearly the machine speed. So we'll look at the three pillars bit detail. First pillar, AI driven detection and triage, turn massive data into high prioritized and actionable incidents is the goal. So then the behavioral analytics for novel threats. AI models learn the normal behavior of users, device, applications, and so on, and flags deviations from the normal behaviors of users, devices, or applications, or abnormal activities, or some suspicious behavior. It flags all those deviations. Then the benefit would be identifies the polymorphic and zero-day threats based on the TTPs, which is very important, not the signature-based approach where the traditional SOC is currently doing it. And the intelligent prioritization would be automatically assigns a dynamic risk score for every alert based on multiple factors, and then suppress the benign alerts, or suppress the false positive alerts as well, and then allowing analysts to focus only on high fidelity and high impact incidents. The second pillar would be the automated investigation and response. The goal of this automated investigation and response would be the close the gap between the detection and the containment. For this to happen, AI correlation engine instantly link security signals from multiple multiple security platforms like endpoint, SIEM, cloud, firewalls, IPS modules, WAF modules, etc. And then alerts are automatically enriched up with user profiles, asset inventories, and threat intelligence, and so on. So you need not go to multiple platforms to triage, or to triage for enrichment details. All those details will be collected in a single platform. As a result, the investigation time will will be drastically reduced from hours to minutes. And then the last pillar, orchestrated containment. Automated response actions are executed via SOAR playbooks triggered by the AI. As an example, for a host isolation, this will automatically quarantine the infected machine, and it will alert or it will email to an SOC analyst or the SOC group. The second will be the credential evocation. If at all the alert or the orchestration engine feels that based on the multiple factors, it feels the user has been compromised, it will immediately disable the user, uh, disable the user account, and even make a request for password reset as well, and revoking the access for across the multiple applications as well. And then the alerting, notifying critical holders in parallel about these alerting features. And then the operational shift. So as we all know that AI cannot replace every work of analyst, it elevates them. For example, AI role versus human analyst role. First line of triage will be done by AI. The most advanced hunting and policy creation, and so on. The advanced role will be done by human analyst. And with this AI role, automated containment action and playbooks are can be done, but the judgment can be made by the human role. With respect to data, even correlation and contextual and enrichment can be done using AI. But continuous tuning of AI models and playbooks based on uh, new alerts or based on the new adversaries can be done by human. So generative AI tools will act as a digital assistance for uh, SOC analyst to track the incident so quickly so that it will drastically reduce the dwell time, MTTR, MTTT. What is MTTR? MTTR is nothing but mean time to response, and MTTT is nothing but mean time to detect. So mean time to detect will drastically reduce to 90%. 90% of time will get reduced, and for MTTR, it will reduce from hours to minutes. At least 70% of reduction will be possible. And then the false positive rate might will be reduced possibly to 80%, increasing the analyst efficiency. And then value proposition summary. Reduced financial exposure, faster containment minimizes attack dwell time and cleanup cost. It will also increase the operational efficiency. Analysts focus on high value and strategic work. With respect to compliance, it will also help us to fasten the process and satisfy growing regulatory demands as well. And then there is a traditional roadmap and the phased plan for the AI-based SOC conversion. First will be the foundation, conducting SOC maturity assessment and clearly define the objectives of MTTD and MTTR targets, and then the data readiness. So deploy unified data pipelines and integrate AI platform with SIEM and EDR, or if or and IPS, IDS, and WAF solutions. And then initial value. Deploy and tune machine learning models for core behavioral baselining. And then automation. Integrate with SOAR, develop and test initiated and automated containment playbooks. And then the last phase would be operationalization. Train analysts on new workflows and establish clear AI governance. And the next phase will be the key recommendations, request for approval and support, approve resources for rigorous capacity gap analysis and platform section, and then support talent upskilling. Since AI is taking part most of our analysis, we can invest in mandatory training to transition of analysts from AI OCs and strategy threat hunters, because threat hunting only when we do when only when we improve in threat hunting, Only then we will able to detect most of the zero-day attacks and adopt new metrics. Officially adopt MTTR and MTTD as the primary security performance indicators for the SOC. That's it. Thank you again for BCCA. Thank you all.